Český Krumlov. Welcome to Český Krumlov, a fairy tale town frozen in time. I'm spending a few days wandering around its cobbled streets, exploring the castle and soaking in the river views and discovering what makes this place so captivating. There's also a cheeky diversion to České Budějovice, and I'm Hammo, and I can't sit still, so I'm trying to explore as much as I can until I can't move because of chafing marks on my groin. Anyway, I digress. Let's dive in to the magic of Český Krumlov. After dipping into Prague for what seemed like the last day of summer, I'm now on the train to Český Krumlov. It takes about 3.5 hours. Why there, you may ask? Great question. I wanted somewhere near the German border as I'm heading to Munich straight after this, and there's a direct bus from there, so why not check it out? Tell you what, can't beat a bit of train travel, can you? That was an absolute dream. Here we go. Arrived in Český Krumlov, and it took 2.5 hours. First class is very nice. Had a coffee, some great views on the way. Got about a 20-25 minute walk to the hostel now. And I'm going to quickly check in. My room is ready. Been told that already, so that's good. Dump the stuff and get out and see it, because I think tomorrow might be some rain, but today there's not. So I'm going to see as much as I can today. But I've got a free walking tour tomorrow, which might be in the rain, but hey, not the first time on this channel, that's for sure. Yep, gonna check out this marvellous little place. Yeah, looking forward to it. Walking into the main centre, I don't know too much about this place, but I know it's historic, has cobbled streets, a castle, and looks like one of those cute, magical cities in Bohemia. So I'm very excited. First up, here's a few tourists, which is usually a good sign. And first impressions are exactly what I envisioned. These colourful buildings on cobbled streets, that classic Central European feel and look, with those balconies and window shutters. And this looks very, very trendy. Almost a Christmas feeling, if you like. And there's the first sight of the day, the St. Vitus Church. I'm not hanging about here as I need to get to my hostel to drop my stuff off so I can explore more. And there is the castle tower. More on that later. After walking through the main square, I'm nearly at my hostel and I'm excited to see what this place looks like. So let's take a look as I approach. And look at this cute little courtyard.
Here we go. Pension Merlin. This is €40 a night. Let's get a nice little instant reaction here. God, look at this cute little house. If this doesn't define Bohemian, I don't know what does. Look at this. It's a cute little house. Oh, there's about 5 or 6 rooms here. And there's a little kitchen, so let's go and check that out. Lovely. Dining room. Back garden. Okay. More of a Airbnb style rather than a pension / hostel. Let's check the room out. Cute. Look at this cute little place. €40 a night. Yeah. Now we're talking. Look at this view. Oh yeah. Awesome. I can feel the history of this building already. A kitchen and a meeting place for residents, and here is the bedroom. Decent views and a decent size. I booked this on booking.com, which you can scan here for this property or the website in general. If you're using this QR code, I get a little commission that goes straight back into this channel. So I've dumped my stuff off and now it's time to walk through town. I love these little streets. It kind of reminds me of my hometown in Norwich, UK. I'm stopping off here for the best burger in town apparently. The restaurant is called Mustek Beer and Burger and I had their Mustek burger. It was delicious. I want to check out St. Vitus Church, so let's take a walk and look at the church inside. St. Vitus Church in Český Krumlov was built in the 15th century in the Gothic style and served as the main parish church for the town's residents and noble families, including the influential Rosenbergs. Over the centuries, it's been restored with Baroque touches but still stands as one of the town's most striking medieval landmarks. As a few people have told me in Czech Republic, the Czechs are not very religious anymore, so I don't think the locals visit this place that much. I've been told to head to the back, so let's see what's around there. My first impression so far is super historic, hilly, the oldest buildings you can imagine. It's an absolute dream of a little place to check out. Kind of reminds me of Vinden in Luxembourg a little bit. It's got that Bohemian vibe, castle, cathedral, and there's lots to pop in and see. I mean, this is a nice little backdrop. Look at that. Great view of the city, great view of the town. Around the back of the cathedral, popped in the cathedral. It's a classic one. Now I'm just going to walk around town, might get a shitty coffee somewhere, and it's not too busy, which is good as well. I actually quite like the buildings. It's incredible how they build this sort of stuff. All different colours, all on hills. Unbelievable. This is what I love about this area of Europe. These buildings are weirdly addictive and give me a bit of a buzz. I love the design and the signs. The castle is in the distance and that is where I'm heading right now, as I heard there's a great view up there. Right up there is my point of reference. I need the view of the town, so let's go on a walk. Český Krumlov Castle dates back to the 13th century and was originally built by the powerful Rosenberg family again. Over time, it evolved from a Gothic fortress into a grand Renaissance and Baroque palace, now standing as one of the largest castle complexes in Central Europe. It has stunning views over the Old Town and Vltava River. God, look at this. Wow. This is a real fairy tale. This spot is super busy for this prime photo, so be sure to get here early or be prepared to wait your turn. Now walking through the castle grounds that go up there, which is going to cost you €11.50 and some fitness to walk up the steps, but I actually gave it a miss this time. I thought, you know what, I've just got some great views of the town. What would €11.50 get me extra? So I gave it a miss. Look at this stunning view behind me. Look at this. Yeah, this is the main viewpoint of Český Krumlov, and the castle's there. You can't go in today, it's closed, but some unbelievable viewpoints over there which you've seen on this video. And behind me there's another major point. Loving the vibe, loving the look. It's just a dreamy little location. You must walk up here. It takes about 5 to 7 minutes. It's a little bit uphill, but this is a cool place to see in Czech Republic. It's quite close to the German border, so you can get a bus from here into Germany, like Munich, like I've got on Wednesday. So it's very accessible either by train from Prague or you get the bus from Germany. Buzzing. A long and well overdue coffee is needed, and I found on Google a cafe called Café In Vivo. I'm excited to check it out. Let's go and see it. And I tell you what, if I could define trendy, this hits all the markers. Absolute trend. Found this trendy little cafe, Café In Vivo. You can sit indoors, but it's quite cosy. It's a bit nippy outside as well, but I've gone for it because it's so trendy. Look at this, little plants in the background, that little window there. Got coffee coming, got a little view of the street from the building. Oh, what a dream little cafe. Café In Vivo. Check it out. If you enjoyed that trendy coffee, you can buy me a coffee for $5 at buymeacoffee.com/winging it. This helps the production costs of this YouTube channel and helps me personally to travel to provide you with some great travel content. Cheers. Another full day of exploring today. When it hits 5 PM, I'm done. Had to have a nap today because a lot of walking, exploring, seeing new things, learning new things, and of course the jet lag and the time difference. I'm out for an evening meal, but not local tonight because I just need something that isn't potato, gravy, or beef. So I'm having Chinese. I don't care. I'm going to take a walk into town afterwards to see what it looks like in the dark. I don't see too many lights. I was kind of envisioning there'd be like lots of lit up places, but there might be. I'll have to take a walk around the town again and see what's going on. So once I finish that, early night, and then I'll be back up early tomorrow morning to see more of Český Krumlov, and my walking tour at 10, which will be a couple of hours. Then I've got a bus to the neighbouring city, České Budějovice. Can't pronounce that very well, but loving the vibe here. A lot of groups, maybe a bit older crowds. It's off season now pretty much, but I'm looking forward to hearing more about the town tomorrow and the history behind it. I'm then looking forward to checking out a new city tomorrow too. All in all, lots of walking, lots of new sights, bit of train travel was a dream, and now get a glass bottle of Coke with some sweet and sour chicken and rice. Cheers. A nighttime walk to walk off dinner, and an early night for another day of exploring tomorrow. Morning all, Collective is my cafe of choice and it looks good.
I'm meeting Jan for my free walking tour soon, so what another wander around town with no real aim, but for heading down every street possible.
Yeah, that's a nice little breakfast there. Collective, very, very nice, decent prices. And it's part of the town that's sort of north over the river. So you have the central part, and then you pop over the bridge and you come to this little part here. So I'm going to take a little walk around here and check it out before I go to my walking tour. The only annoying thing about breakfast is the extremely rude Australian person next to me, who for some reason just wanted to describe and tell her that she knew what butter was, even though her question wasn't even making sense. Probably needs a bit more context, really. Anyway, didn't like the rudeness. So I'm now going to check this out, down this little street here. No idea what's down there. Let's see what we can find.
As I wandered through Český Krumlov, it honestly felt like stepping straight into the past. The cobblestone streets and colourful facades haven't changed much since the 16th century, and that's exactly why the entire old town is protected as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. What's even more incredible is that Český Krumlov was almost completely untouched during World War II. While much of Europe was damaged or destroyed, this little town somehow escaped the bombing and preserved its medieval and Renaissance beauty. After the war, things weren't that easy. During the Communist era, many of these beautiful buildings fell into disrepair. But following the Velvet Revolution in 1989, the town was lovingly restored to what you see today, a living time capsule of Czech history and architecture.
I'm ready to meet Jan for my walking tour of Český Krumlov. And my rule really with walking tours is, because there's so much information, I don't really want to be bogged down with filming. So I've pretty much filmed every street of this place, it feels like. So I'm looking forward to putting the camera away, listening, and trying to take in all the nuggets of information about this place. So that's my rule. And I'm looking forward to maybe learning something new. Basically, I don't really know much about the town. I know what it looks like. I know where things are. I've checked some things out. But the information from a local is absolutely crucial and needed. So free walking tours, make sure you do them. I use GuruWalk. And I'll put a link in this video to Jan's in the show notes with GuruWalk. Check it out.
Now it's time for Jan to tell us all about this marvellous town. And as I said before on the previous video in Prague, I don't really film during the tour, as I like to take in all the information from the guide. However, you can find Jan's tour in the show notes with GuruWalk. I would highly recommend it, a great guy and a local too. Right, one of my weaknesses as a traveller is never sitting still, so I've booked a bus to České Budějovice. When I told Jan, he asked me why, so I didn't have my hopes up too much. The bus took 30 minutes and I've arrived. It has that classic square in the middle, and one of the top things to do is climb the clock tower for an elevated view of the town, and we all know I love a view.
Here we are. České Budějovice. I can't pronounce it very well. This is a huge square. This goes on forever. Just going to turn it around here. There you go. My vibe so far was it had that sort of Soviet style buildings and look about it. I must admit, coming from the bus station, I took a walk, and yeah, I'm now based myself in the square. But what also reminds me about this place here is dreary and grey today and a bit rainy. That kind of reminds me of growing up in the UK for those awful days, just grim, just autumn, dark, dreary, rainy, and everything looks a bit rubbish. But I'm trying to get over that, and there's some very colourful buildings in this square. So I'm going to walk all the way around it. I might try and find a coffee and a bit of lunch to see what it's about. Don't know too much about it. There's a clock tower over there that I'm going to walk up, climb that, get a view. Yeah, let's check it out.
God, this is longer than you think, and it's quite hard too. I need this fitness back ASAP. There's a little charge to go right to the top, and I've made it.
Yep, finally made it after that workout. My word, I need to get fitter. Technically free until you get to the top. There's an 80 Czech money fee, which is about €3 to €3.50, and you just pay the geezer there, card or cash. And as you can see, this is the square I was walking in earlier. And I thought I'd get a bit of an appetite up first before dipping in for a croissant and a coffee for lunch or late lunch. But I love views like this. Got some great views. So I'm going to do a full circle, get some content so I can show you. And for one of the main things to do here, good value and definitely worth doing. Check it out.
Some great views for sure. This place seems a little industrial as a city, but the old town looks so nice, and I do want to explore more after.
Decent, isn't it? I can imagine in summer this would be absolutely heaving. I'm aiming for a cafe on that block straight ahead, I think. Cafe Art. Let's check it out.
First up is a coffee and a cake at Café Art. And the owner of the cafe told me to try this Czech cake called Mademak, so here goes. I'll tell you what, that is bloody delicious. Very spongy with a lot of sugar and strawberries. Cannot really go wrong.
That's basically spongy cake with cheesecake-like topping. That's sensational. Huge.
The coffee was great too. What a find. Now for more exploration of the old town, which looks quite small. fear I've booked my bus too late, as over 4 to 5 hours here is slightly too much. Now, some people might say I should visit the Budweiser factory or brewery, which is a valid point, but I don't really drink apart from special occasions, so drinking alcohol isn't a massive part of my content. But watch this space as I head to Oktoberfest in Munich in a few days.
Yeah, I strangely didn't feel that enthusiastic when I arrived here, early doors. Later on, after a walk, a coffee in a very trendy establishment, and now another walk, I found some really nice streets around sort of northern edge of the old town, and they're very, very nice. Cobbled streets, very quiet, lovely little churches, white buildings, colourful buildings everywhere. So that's given me a better vibe for the place. I'm now sitting in the main square, doing a bit of people watching. Yeah, I think this is worth a couple of hours of your time. And if you're into your beer, there's a few microbreweries about the square where you can really delve into that as well.
But getting back to Krumlov felt like home, and I'm in Jan's family restaurant for dinner with some local food. Very meat heavy, and I treat myself to a beer, so there you go.
This is my last day in the Czech Republic, and I've got a sort of lazy morning really. I'm going to go for a coffee first, then I've got a call for an hour, then I'm going to go for a lunch, which was recommended by my walking tour guide yesterday and by my research, called Mazna, then catch my bus, a Flix bus to Munich, which will take 4 to 5 hours. It's a bit of a journey. And then I've got an Airbnb for a couple of nights for Oktoberfest, and I'm meeting a couple of very good friends and YouTubers. It's going to be super exciting. Can't wait to check out Munich again. I've not been there in 11 years. But first, let's go for one last morning in Český Krumlov for a coffee and a walk.
I stumbled upon this cute roastery next to my hostel the next morning, and the coffee tasted so good. It was so good that I went into town to get cash, pay a ridiculous fee to get cash, to buy some coffee beans, but I'm well stoked with this find. I'm really happy with the buy. Ideal coffee is here. You must make an effort to go. Now heading to Collective for another breakfast, then I'm going to aim for Mazna for a coffee, as these were both recommended by Jan, and Mazna is another sensational coffee. Both the coffee options I found and the breakfast option was approved by Jan, so it's nice to have it validated by a local, and I like to think I'm a bit of an expert when it comes to coffee and breakfast. However, that's my time in Český Krumlov over. I feel like I've walked all the streets possible. Now I'm on the 5-hour bus ride to Munich to meet some friends for Oktoberfest. As I reflect on Český Krumlov, I love this small magical place in the south of the Czech Republic. Those magical spires of the churches and castles give me the feels every time. I love cobbled streets because they hit the nostalgia button inside me, reminding me of where I grew up in Norwich in the UK. The food options here are great, especially for Bohemian food. Café In Vivo has to be one of the trendiest looking cafes I've ever visited, and the coffee tastes so good at Ideal Cafe. What a find that was. I love Jan's tour. He has great jokes, great information, and a great vibe. You must get him in for a 3 to 4 hour free walking tour. Just make sure you tip him generously. I love the feel of this place, and I feel like I've seen it quite extensively, and it's one of my favourite little places in Central Europe. If you want to check out what I got up to in Prague, you can head to my video here, check it out, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and put a comment in for your thoughts. I'll be off to Germany, and I'll see you there. Please follow and subscribe on my YouTube channel today, and let's go and see the world. Cheers, Hammo.